You ever have those mornings where the shop feels like it's actually rooting for you? I walked in today, the sun was hitting the joiner just right, and for once, I didn't trip over the air hose. It's July 10th, 2026, and the air just feels productive.
Give it 20 minutes. You'll find a way to get your sleeve caught in a hand plane or something. But you're right, the energy is different. We've got a massive lineup today. We're talking about the 3D printing world finally growing up, some seriously big money moving into the trades, and how to actually get paid for the sawdust you generate.
It's a brave new world, Alex. I remember when high tech in the shop was an electronic digital caliper that didn't eat batteries every 3 days. Now, we're looking at Bamboo Lab planting their flag right here in the States.
This Bamboo Lab expansion is the real deal. They aren't just a YouTube brand anymore. They're making it so you don't have to be a computer scientist just to print a custom jig. You've been playing with the new budget models, right?
I have. And look, I'm a guy who likes the smell of sawdust and the weight of a chisels, but these new machines under 200 bucks, they've changed the math. I used to think 3D printing was just a hobby for people who liked fixing printers, but now it's a tool. It's like buying a cordless drill. You take it out of the box, and it just works. No more spending your Saturday afternoon recalibrating the bed level like you're trying to communicate with a satellite.
So you're saying I don't need a PhD to print a replacement knob for my table saw?
Not anymore, but you do need to breathe. That's the catch people forget. You're melting plastic in a closed room. I picked up that PandaSense Pro monitor, the Beak one, and it was a bit of a wake-up call. I always figured if I couldn't smell it, it wasn't hurting me. Turns out, that's a great way to end up with a lungs like a chimney sweep. This little $89 box tracks, VOCs, and emissions. It's like having a safety inspector who doesn't yell at you, just gives you a polite little nudge to open a window.
$90 to not breathe in plastic fumes seems like a bargain, Tiger. Speaking of bargains, or rather investments, can we talk about the massive shift in trade school funding? This is the first time I've seen the government actually catch up to the reality of how people want to learn.
It's about time. Pell Grants for short-term trade programs. That's the bridge we've been missing. For years, we told every kid they had to go get a 4-year degree in underwater basket weaving theory just to get a job. Now you can go get your HVAC or welding cert, have the government help foot the bill, and you're into a high-paying career in months, not years.
And it's not just the government. Google is putting $50 million into skilled trades. $50 million. They need people to build their data centers, and they've realized they can't just wait for people to magically appear with a pipe wrench in their hand.
It's the ultimate build it and they will come scenario. They're offering free training and then a direct line to a job. If I were 20 years younger, I'd be at the front of that line. There's a specific kind of pride in seeing a massive structure on the horizon and knowing you're the one who kept the lights on or the water running. It's honest work that pays like a high-end law firm these days without the billable hours.
Sometimes I think you just like the idea of wearing a hard hat, Tiger. But let's pivot to the folks who are already in the shop. The maker moguls. You've seen how the market is shifting. It's not about being a celebrity. It's about being a niche authority.
Exactly. Everyone thinks they need 1 million followers to sell a cutting board. Total nonsense. If you make high-end, heirloom quality baby rattles, you don't need the whole world to like your post. You just need the 50 people who are looking for exactly that to find you. I remember my first attempt at selling to everyone. I made these massive, heavy workbenches and tried to ship them. I spent more on freight than I made on the wood. I was basically paying people to take my furniture.
See, that's the Tiger special. But you learned about the micro-influencer strategy the hard way.
I did. You have to be authentic. Use Instagram for the hero shot, the one where the finish looks like liquid glass, but use TikTok for the I just dropped my favorite chisel on the concrete moments. People buy from people they trust. And trust is built in the mess, not the masterpiece.
Let's get into the actual projects for the weekend. You mentioned heirloom baby gifts as a top search right now. Why is that blowing up?
Because everything in the stores is plastic and made to be thrown away in 6 months. A set of simple, hand-planed name tags, or a walnut rattle, that's something a mother keeps in a memory box for 30 years. It's a low material cost, but the emotional value is through the roof.
What about the retirement woodworking crowd? We have a lot of listeners who are looking to turn their hobby into a retirement supplement.
That's the sweet spot. When you're over 50, you start thinking about ergonomics. You're not trying to manhandle 4x8 sheets of plywood all day. You want projects with high impact and low physical toll. Floating corner shelves are the gold mine right now.
Wait, why corner shelves specifically?
Because houses are getting smaller and people are obsessed with maximizing space, you can take a scrap piece of white oak that was heading for the burn pile, turn it into a sleek modular floating system with some hidden joinery, and suddenly you've got $100 item that weighs 5 pounds. It's efficient, it's elegant, and your back won't be screaming at you the next morning.
I'll believe the no screaming back part when I see it, but that's a solid weekend challenge. Modular floating shelves. How hard is the hidden joinery for a beginner?
It's all about the setup. Don't eyeball it. If your holes are off by even a 16th of an inch, that shelf is going to look like it's drooping after a long night at the bar. Take the time to make a jig. Use a drill press if you've got one. It's one of those projects where 10 minutes of prep saves you 3 hours of swearing.
All right, so the takeaway for today: 3D printing is finally for the rest of us. The trades are the new gold rush for career seekers. And if you're making things to sell, focus on being the expert for a small group, not a star for a big one.
Well said. And look, whether you're printing a jig or carving a rattle, just remember, the wood doesn't know what it's supposed to be until you tell it. Don't be afraid to make a few mistakes. That's just the tax we pay for getting better.
We'll see you all on the next one. Go make something worth keeping.
Catch you later, Tigers. Stay sharp.